Hey there, Tom Romeo from PCS demonstrating how we use inventory with Traverse. So you see I'm at the inventory review page and I have a few items in there. And what we're going to demonstrate is the mobile app and how to use the mobile app with Traverse for inventory. So I'm going to add things from my pantry into Traverse so that when I go to the store, I can then do a quick lookup and find out what I already have on hand. So you see I only have a few items in here, so I've got a bit of work to do. And my very first item is my San Marzano tomatoes. Now, I have to type in the description, and you notice the expiration date. Now, if you want to use an expiration date, because all inventory is driven by the barcode for, let's say, the UPC code and the location, and then an expiration date. This way, if you've got different items with different expiration dates, you can separate them. But if you don't want to use the expiration date, just set the date to 1/1/1900, like I'm going to do here. So I've got 4 cans of these Cento San Marzano peeled tomatoes. I don't remember what the price is, so I'm going to make up a price. And, you know, I will eventually start keeping track of the price as well, but that's not the purpose of this video. Okay, so you see I added it, and now when I refresh my page, you see I've got 4 items. But I happen to know that one of those items is in the kitchen because I'm going to use it today. So let's take care of that. I'm going to scan my to location to be the kitchen location from my device. I could have done this also from the regular Traverse web app. I'm moving one item, move it, and now when I refresh, you will see that I've got 3 in the basement and 1 in the kitchen. Okay, so that's all well and good. Now, I know that I'm going to use that 1 can that's in the kitchen today because I'm making focaccia. So I'm just demonstrating that the 2 items are in there. It's the same exact item, but I've got 1 in one location and I've got 3 in the other location. I'm just demonstrating that from that screen. And then after we get past this, I'm actually going to consume one of them. So here it goes. I'm scanning that item, and you know the scanning is a little bit slow. You see I'm going to pick now the number 1, the 1 item that's in the kitchen. I'm going to click on that one. Okay, and you see there's a quantity of 1. It's in the kitchen closet, and I'm going to consume it. Like I said, scanning from the phone using the camera is a little bit slow. It would be much better if there was an actual barcode scanner on the device, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so to make all this happen, like you saw me just add some inventory, you saw me move some, you saw me consume it, right? But there are a few settings that need to be set to make this work properly. So very shortly, I'm going to take you to the admin menu, and I'm going to show you how the inventory type is set up. And obviously you need locations set up, right? So here we go. But the inventory type has to be set up a certain way. So I've just created one inventory type called food, and you notice how the expiration date is checked, asset is UPC is checked, and UPC is also checked. So the UPC is the asset ID for this particular item. And that's how I know that when I scan something, I'm going to be doing a lookup on the UPC code. We could arrange it where it's not that way, and we could just generate, you know, unique numbers. But in this particular case, the UPC is the item ID. And then we keep a listing of those items in Traverse so that the next time you scan that UPC code, it'll automatically look up the description for you. There's also a way in Traverse to do a lookup out to the internet for certain items, but they're not all in that database. So some of them will be looked up and some of them not. It really depends on if you get lucky or not. Okay, so that all said, notice how I've got some expiration dates on some of the other items, right? And that was because I just left them in there, or you notice how some of them are 2025 and it is actually 2022 right now. So that's just for demonstration purposes. But in this particular case, for these items that I'm using right now that I know aren't going to be in inventory very long, I don't care if there's an expiration date or not. Like, why bog yourself down with it? But if I was keeping track of aspirins or allergy medication, and maybe I have a couple of bottles of Motrin maybe, then I would put the expiration date in so that I know when I'm out in the store, if I scan Motrin, it'll show me what's in the cupboard. It'll also show me what's expired or about to expire. So that would be a critical element to this so that I know that my other elements are not expired. And this way I can keep a good level of inventory of things that I actually need in case we get hit with another, wave of this pandemic. Okay, so very soon I'm going to add another item that I happen to see in the basement, just for demonstration purposes. Give it a minute. Here we go. And oh, by the way, this is on my iPhone. You notice how it's using the light and not the dark mode. So the Traverse app does not work in dark mode on the iPhone. Not yet. We will make it work, but not yet. So if you want to use Traverse on an iPhone, you got to use the not dark mode, the light mode. I think it works on dark mode in Android though, and it's the same exact code. We used Xamarin so that the same exact source code for all of the mobile platforms work exactly the same way. They just look like the Apple version of this looks different than the Android version because it's a different device. You see what I'm doing? I'm just ripping out the expiration date. I don't know what the price is, so I'm just going to make up a price. But I'm going to get better at that. I'm actually going to put real prices in eventually. And you see I didn't select the location yet, and that is critical. You have to put in a location. So that's it. I'm going to click Save, and then I'm going to refresh, and voila, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking now. This video is going to go on for, I don't know, a couple more seconds, and then we are done. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can download all of our software from our website.